I used to hate watercoloring animals to the point that I actually convinced myself that I simply could not do it. And that was big time fear talking. And now, in the last 2 months, I have evolved, let's say. And am I the most proficient animal painter there is? No, not even close. But today I want to share with you my evolution. And I also want to just step by step share with you how I have been painting animals to the point that I actually am enjoying the process and enjoying the results. So let's get down to it. So today I am using a conglomeration of palettes, my friends. Okay, this is all Daniel Smith. This has been a grouping I've been using for the last like month or so. My Art for Joy's Sake palette, the Christy Rice palette, the one that I developed. When it's closed, it's cute, looks like this. These two, this Neutrals palette and then this Brights palette, are from Sisters Inc. So a nice fun mix. And to be quite honest, there's different colors in each one that I'm really enjoying as, you know, kind of a combo situation. So I'm not using the full, you know, the full spectrum of each palette, if you will. All right. Um, with my pet portraits, I have been starting with pencil. And really, I've been concentrating on eyes and mouths. That seems to be where I'm able to capture this creature's spirit. So today I'm starting with this little boopy schloop. This is for Ange. And this, oh, she told me the dog's name. Leroy. This is Leroy. Look how sweet. Look how sweet he is. And I think I'm going to work from this photo right here. Is just darling. So I've been, I'm using an HB pencil. The first time somebody asked me to do the portrait, their animal's portrait, it was live on Palm Street. And if you don't know about Palm Street, you can check. I have a links, or I will have links in the description. Why is that shaking? And I was mortified that I didn't want to say no, you know, I didn't. So I start very simply like this. And it's opposite of what we typically, you know, think of with sketching, going, you know, finding the big shapes. But I like to establish the distances, nose and mouth, nose and eyes, kind of that kind of perfect little triangle, right? Then I start thinking about the personality points. And this dog, one of the personality points is most definitely his little floofy poof around his nose. Absolutely. And then the next is definitely the floofy poofs around the eyes. Big personality points, in my opinion. And then I essentially just build out from there. And I'm finding that kind of, he's got a little chagrin here, right? And then I'll remember the night that I was like, okay. And I even said, I remember saying to folks, I was like, you might be witness to an utter disaster here, friends. Like, truly, this may go very poorly. And I'm okay making a fool in front of you all. I'm really okay. But I remember really focusing on the eyes. And like, look at this eye, like focusing on where the white of the eye is, right? And I'm going to kind of reestablish the white of this eye. And I found that to be important. I've been exaggerating noses quite a bit, making them a little larger. All right, so white, white, finding the shine, Really get establishing that shine. Maybe these eyes are too far apart. I'm still not convinced they are. I'm going to shade in the eyes just to get a sense. Do I have the proportion right? Do I have the placement right enough? Because again, I'm trying to capture the spirit of this little schloopy doop. Not all the detail, not all the exact proportion, but the lovely kind of personality epicenter. That's what's important. That's what's important. You can't even with this little, look at this little glamour shot pose here. You little goofball. You little handsome goofball. And then I definitely, the ears are definitely a personality point. The floof needs to be higher. Where are their cute curls? So after you've established all this kind of stuff, right? And you're probably thinking, well, at what point, Christy, do you start bringing paint onto the page? And very soon, right? And what I've was thrilled to discover, and I think this is what kind of prevented me from making any real progress with my animal paintings, is that not all the details are stinking necessary, right? They're just not. All right. See, had too much there. It's too much. Okay. Let's just talk about. And friends, I got to tell you, the night that I was asked to do the first animal portrait, I almost refused. Because I was just like, I don't do this. It wasn't even I don't. It was I can't do it. Therefore, I don't watercolor animals. I don't do pet portraits, right? And Thrifty, were you there? Which dog was it? Thrifty was there. I did dang near freak out. Yeah. And I just remember the emotions of it. And like my heart started beating heavier, but she did it. It was amazing. Which dog was it? I can't remember. So, and I was like, okay, think about Christy, think about how you teach folks to sketch. It doesn't matter what the subject matter is. How do you teach folks to sketch? And so, and I remember I showed you the pepper earlier. Sketching 101, break down the basic shapes, break down the angles, the relationships between the angles, right? Break it down. This is on stone paper, so it very much acts like Yupo. So you've got some weird stuff here, but break down the shapes. Shape relationships, distances, and then you get into tonal value. So again, let's look at our schloop here. Okay. I think once I get in the shadows here, this will be the correct distance or correct enough. And then this little, what do they call that in a kitchen? That kind of work triangle? Is that what it's called? Where it's like fridge, stove, sink, or fridge, stove, countertop, something like that, right? Oh, the strawberry cat. Okay, yeah, the first one was a cat. This is funny. That's right. It was the cat. I'll show you. And she wanted her cat in a strawberry costume. And Thrifty, remind me, but I don't think she actually had a photo of her cat in said costume, did she? No, I had to finagle that. Or maybe she did. I can't remember, but it was stressful. But I'm going to show you this. And so, of course, it was a black cat. And of course, she wanted it on black paper. And I'm so grateful that this request was made because it yanked me out of my comfort zone in a beautiful way. So there she is. There's the Kate. There's the inspiration. There's the cat in the daggone strawberry costume. She requested the cat. She had this picture and was just like, put her in a strawberry costume. I'm like, sure. And yeah, it was terrifying. But I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna let these Palm Street community folks who don't know me very well think that I'm scaredy cat. So yeah. So I stared down the face of the creative dragon and said, you don't scare me. All right, so we're going to get in some of the, honestly, I want to get in some of the mid-tones. And I am, even though I'm still laying out, I am thinking form, right? I'm definitely thinking form. So I'm being kind of thoughtful because this little swoop here around his eye is quite distinctive, right? And so is this here. It kind of swerves back here and creates like a little triangle-y shape. So I'm going to get that in and then curves this way. It's so beautiful. Interesting. Shoot, I went into the white of the eye, which we can always bring back. All right, so midtones. I like to go into the midtones because that helps me define form a little bit, right? What a lovely photo, lovely light here. I'm thinking about direction too at this time because remember, these are just sketches. So I am, it's a loose, it's a, you know, kind of personality filled, impressionistic, if you will, right? And the paws definitely kind of in the mid-tone realm. I am dipping, when you hear that clanging, that's me going into my water, into my water. And this is all light. So this is not quite mid-tone here. This is kind of, this is more mid to dark tone. This is more mid-tone right here. All right. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Let me know. If I'm not, I will try to clarify a little more. I just really wanted to explain my process. I wanted to explain, I wanted to prove to you that we all have these things that scare the living bejeepers out of us. But we persevere. Now, early on in the process, I will go in. I love these Pentel sign pens. I have yet to find them on Amazon. I have found them on, I think it is Jet Pens, or I think it's Jet Pens. And I like to go in and establish the really dark, just juicy, just absolutely personality filled eyes. Because that is where it's at. I mean, look at this schloop looking up at you. I mean, you would give him, I mean, forget about the cheese tax. I mean, I would give this dog a bag of gold if he looked at me like this. I mean, my goodness. I mean, buddy. Buddy. I want to make those nostrils a little exaggerated because they are cute. They make me want to give him a boop right on the nose. I also have a brown one of these pens, and it doesn't have to be this pen. I just like these markers because they give, they flex, and they kind of, because they are softer, they give a lot of texture pretty easily, and they also disperse when wet, so I can go in and decide, you know, where I want it to kind of be softened, right? And then I'm going to go in here and let some of the bleeding of the eye that I just added become fur, maybe, depending on the needs. And really the vast majority, I found what made me become much more comfortable with this process. I'm going to have to add the white of that eye back in. And I realize I'm gonna have to add the white, this white of his schloofy poofy down here around his nose comes closer to the eye. The personality also, like the detail that I'm adding is centered around that triangle, eyes, nose. And then, you know, does this dog I'm finding Leroy, it's all about those eyes and that expression. Definitely the schloofy poof around his schnoz. Okay, that's where it's at for him. And everything else is going to be left a little more raw, if you will. Schloof, schloofy doo, schloofy doo. So cute. And then I might start I need this eye area to dry. Oh, I want to put that white back in. I might exaggerate. Like knowing where the white of the eye that's showing is really giving you kind of that personality. Getting that kind of general placement of the white of the eye is pretty significant, is what I'm finding out for me. See that? See how important that is? It gives him that schloopy eyeball look. I'm going to get in here with the Art for Joy's Sake brown. Get it on my palette here right on the edge with my 000. Another spot that definitely holds a lot of personality is right under his nose. So I want to get a little bit of that in there. I may soften that. I don't know. But I got to get his little grin in. I think I want to go in with a little bit of black. Contrast is awesome. Little moments of very specifically placed contrast can just do a ton, but don't overdo it. So I lightly touch and I look and then I touch and then I look, and it's a little, no, maybe a skosh too strong. Getting back from this, super helpful. Get back from it. A little more shadow over here. A little less over there. And then we're going to start to define, because his eyes have like this kind of cavity, like feel like they kind of recess pretty significantly. And we can do that by defining some of the floof around his nose, right? Just a little. And we don't need to overdo it. I'm coming close up on being done. I'm going to do a little more definition over here, around the ear. Actually, let me do some of it here. I might just do a little outliney type thing here, right? I'm going to do a little up here and then watch. I'm going to just put interesting personality filled line up there and then drag some of it down for a nice interesting blend. Oh, there's like a little chin there. Yeah, which actually I'm seeing now at this, you know, we established kind of that triangle, perfect, really important spot. We established the basic forms out here, right? Now you can go around and decide carefully what other areas you might want to elaborate. And I'm deciding kind of some of this ear area. I think I want some darker but thicker. And then just to suggest some of the sweetness of the curly fur over here with some thicker marks. Maybe even a little bit of liner brush action. Oh, there he is. All right, friends. I'm going to put him aside because I want to have some fresh eyes for later. There's a little extra ear floof up here. Definitely. This little schmootsy has a lot of ear floof. I'm one of those people, if you couldn't tell, that makes up um, a million nicknames for the pups, for the schloops. Shloop, shloop, ba-doo, shloop, ba-doo, oh. Yep. So I'm gonna put them aside and let my brain rest on this a little bit. Okay. Not before I sharpen this. I'll also tell you what, a little hint of a doggy eyelash never hurt nobody in the cuteness department. All right. Never hurt nobody. Bit more of the rich brown, that would be great. Just a bit more, sure. So I'm thinking then here, and then maybe in the ear area. Hello, dry brush. What's happening? What's up, buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's happening? What's up, buzz? Tell me what's happening. A little bit over here. All right. All right, I'm going to rest my eyes on him for now, but there is Leroy in all his schloopy cuteness. All right, next up, I'm going to go back to... All right, so friends, we're going to do, this is, let me introduce you to Poppy. This is Poppy. We got that look, but I really think this one is the most iconic. Okay, it's Poppy's. It's time for Poppy. All right, so ear, nose. And we're, we may not get much of, well, no, we're probably not going to get any feet in. Maybe I can work a foot in, who knows, but the ears are so important. And now I know that's not the shape. See, even, oh boy. Let me just kind of, definitely that little pout, so important. These jowls are important. The nose to pout placement, important. I'm using a really light touch. Did anybody here in my Patreon, the angle's important. Did you go through my sketching lesson yet? How did it feel? And then the distance here, super important. These eyes are almost on the outside of his head. Wow, look at that. Exaggerate that a bit. Hold on. My brain hurts right now. This one's complicated. We've got puppy dog folds. Yeah. I am definitely exaggerating the distance. I'm actually minimizing the distance in between these legs because I really want to get them in. I think it's cute, but it may not work because the ears are so important. But I think the ears running off the page are okay. Look at that twist on that ear. is so important, I think. So again, that triangle, the mouth being part of it. I've got some spacing wrong here. Personality points, that curve of that ear. This ear has it, but it's less. And deciding that it might be okay, like this space is a little less than in the actual photo, but I'm sacrificing that space to exaggerate the personality point of the ear. I think I used to just be so where I felt like to capture the realness of an animal, I had to get it all just right. And that was terrifying to me. But what I learned in the last month or so is that could not be further from the truth. I don't have to get it all right. There are parts that are really important, like the placement of the white of that eye, super important. The placement of the white of this eye, not as important. Maybe it is. And what we learn along the way. This is a little bit of a hooded eye. This is definitely hooded. Oh, what a little cute. What is this? Is this a bulldog? Little puppy? What kind of puppy is this? Anybody know? Oh my gosh. Toe beans, toe beans, toe beans, toe beans. I gotta get this little drumstick out here. He's so goofy. Boston Terrier, thank you. I think the nose needs to be a little bit bigger. Maybe not. And you might be like, oh my gosh, what do you do with all these extra pencil lines? So I am going to erase some of these. This is a little more flat here. Can't even see the nostrils, but I want to put them in. I'm just not sure where's they at. And then his little forehead is very distinctive. All right, I'm going to start by erasing some stuff that I maybe think I don't need anymore. I am a fool for pencil lines, y'all. I am definitely a fool for pencil lines, but we don't need all of them. I don't know. Something's not right there. I'm going to just erase before my lines get too dark, and I'm going to get out of there. And I definitely don't need this line because, again, personality point. And while I hoped that I would teach you something today, I hope you also just get a sense of how real it is to be fearful, how real it is to feel ill-equipped, and kind of the head talk that you have to go through to make it through, despite all those feelings. Little angle there. Oh, yeah, okay. That is really... I will also do shading with the pencil, even if that... Because when I do these portraits, I say, like, look, you might get pencil still remaining to be seen in your portrait. I'm going to get some color on here lightly to get a vibe. Cheeks too wide. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Thank you, Nicole. It's confusing because the jowl right there is, yeah. But see, he's got like a fold that is causing confusion. That's why I want to get some paint on here. And see how I feel about it. He looks a little smooshed. He looks a little smooshed. I wonder, is his nose too high? I don't know. I'm going to just erase that out and get a little bit of color on and then see how my brain's feeling. Roughing it out. You just do some pretty blue for the white parts, knowing I can come back. There we go. Oh, I love this. I actually don't think it's long enough, right? I want to go back to color and see. This is the phone I gave my son to do like all his stuff on. Oh, this little schloopy needs some pink, I think. This is also something else that I have found, and you know, I guess it could be seen as a crutch, but when I'm getting nervous about accomplishing the thing, I might add some fun stuff. I might kind of digress away from the hard stuff and add some fun stuff. And that sometimes can really help me calm down, right? And get back into enjoying the process and realizing Poppy definitely needs lashes. Definitely. I think her eyes coming down here a little bit more. I'm going to get in the black because even this black, y'all, can be lifted, which is awesome. Oh, that eye looks nice. And then compliment yourself, huh? There's a little arch in the hood of this eye. Compliment yourself. It's key. I'm going to exaggerate the shine of the eye. Maybe I'll make it smaller. I don't know, but I can always go smaller. I can't go bigger without white. Right? I'm adding just a few little squiggles of like notching out that structure of his kind of nose. And I know it's thinner here. I have his, the bridge, I guess it would be, of our little friend. The bridge of his nose. Because that's just going to help me visualize even more. Maybe I'll make his nostrils lighter. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Yeah, put down what you know and build from there. I love that. Yep. And this may be a do-over. I don't know, but I'm okay with it. I mean, my brain is like, no, you have to get it right now because, you know, time is money, all that jazz. Yeah, no, time is learning. Time is learning. Time ain't money. Time's never been money for me. I don't know. Just don't think that way. Is it helpful, y'all, for you to see me struggle? For you, are you able to learn from seeing me struggle? Tell me. I'm curious. I am just throwing stuff all over the floor now. Lay in this base of a gray, and then I'm gonna do like a little glaze of brown, I think. And I'm definitely going to be doing some blue in the background, like a really fun, like periwinkle, I think, to pop the whites for sure. These are definitely harder pups, and I'm going to tell you just why. There's color blocking going on in the structure of their beautiful little faces, and it requires a lot more attention to be paid to the structural stuff going on, because the color blocking determines a lot of the structure making sense visually, giving the impression that it's making sense. And we're still in the zone here of things working. We're still in the zone. All right, let me go on the other side. I'm not completely 100% convinced yet that it's not a do-over. But we're in the realm. We're in the realm of it really being adorable. I need the blue. I need the blue to get cute. I want to get cute. I want to show off adorable little toe beans. And I'm also a fan of doing that kind of stuff. I'm a fan of going to the places where you feel excited and comfortable for a moment. Definitely took some creative liberties to get these feet in. But he just has the cutest, or she has the cutest little squat. This cutest little, actually that placement, that thing needs to be up by the eyes. What am I doing? We're gonna let that dry. That foot needs to be all the way up there. Oh my gosh, Christy Race. We're gonna do that a different way. We're gonna do that a really different way, and I have a fun idea for it. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. Anyway, go to the personality points, go to what you know, go to, as someone said, who said it? Go. Give yourself pockets of peace. Who does that? Nabella, I think is her name on TikTok. Find the moments of peace, the pockets of peace. I'm not stealing her shtick. I'm really not. In a painting. And come back to the hard stuff. Come back to the scary stuff. Come back. Jack, come back. Get some personality in those ears, because these ears are full of it. I don't know how much brown I want to put around the eye, because I'm getting really fun, like exaggeration without it. Oh my gosh, this dog is adorable. I want one. I want one. I really adore, if you don't have the sign pens, use watercolor, like a watercolor marker with a really fine point, a flexible point, and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about with the joy of the flexibility. And when you press harder, it gives you that lovely texture that adds so much personality. I'm going to wash this out a little into the middle, but still leaving some of the texture, because you can kind of see that's exactly what's happening in the photo sketches. I'm so enjoying this. I know you're describing as struggling, but seeing how you approach and excel at something you're not comfortable with is inspiring. Thank you. It's, I want to be open about, I think I'm saying struggle because, yeah, I'm sitting here, I'm having moments, I'm proud of myself. And I'm just vocalizing literally the junk that's happening in the brain. The small and medium. I haven't had any large moments of panic yet, of those moments of panic that we're all having, right? I'm just vocalizing them because I hope that it helps you. You, not just, anybody watching this. I hope that me being willing to verbalize that stuff makes you all feel more, gosh dang, normal, right? Because that's what we are. We're normal. And we're all experiencing very similar moments of disclarity, if you will, right? We are. Going over. I really enjoyed the ear situation, so I'm going to do more. I knew that these ears, I just had an instinct about it coming into it. I knew that these ears would be a personality point, and I was not wrong, and I'm really enjoying. And yes, I'm going into the damp area here, but I like the idea that some of these little scratchy details that I'm adding are going to diffuse out. So I'm almost doing like, it's contrast detailing, but in reverse-ish. So I'm hovering between that dry edge and damp edge. In this particular case, it's not wet, it's definitely damp. I'm hovering, right? And this edge going outwards diffuses. This edge coming inwards is all refined, great for, hair-like details and things like that. I wish I'd left a little margin, so I might just add some sparkle back in, whoops, with white. We'll see. Blotting, so I can just get more of a smoother blend here with less paint and less moisture. Blotting again, not adding anything. Just want to get nice blend, more control. All right. I feel like that edge definition carries up into kind of the temple region here. Also over here. Add a brown over that area. And I'm going to add brown because this isn't a black puppy, but it just seems like it's almost like a brindle. You know what I'm talking about when I say brindle with puppy dogs? I had a brindle. One of our greyhounds was brindle. It's like brown, black, and whites and creaminess, to the puppy's coloring. Oh, he's got like white. Did that puppy have whiskers or Leroy? Did Leroy have whiskers? I don't think. I saw any like obvious whiskers. Just doing a little bit of lifting. And now let's talk about this area because I want to bring back the white. So I'm going to do a clean, I'm just going to go through and see some areas. I want to get a hint of whiskers in here. And then I'm also going to let this one rest. I'm just going to put in a sweep of white there to get back that area. Anywhere else, I want to get a little bit of even just texture, a little bit of sparkle of white up there, a little bit of highlight here, a little bit up here for sure. Oh, nice, and that's still damp. That was a nice little happy accident here. This is a great way if there are some pencil lines that you want to cover up. Dr. P.H. Martins, you're going to definitely, that's going to accomplish it for you. So it's nice to have that as an option. A little bit of texture, a little something, something. And then let's get back some white in his mush. My mom would always call, wipe your mush when I was a kid, or when, you know, now with the grandkids, you got a dirty mush, she'd say. I don't know why. And then let's get back the definition of this little bridge of the nose fold, huh? And I want to get rid of that pencil there. And I'm going to blend it back in with some brown on my brush that also has the Doc P.H. Martins. See how that looks from a distance. A little too grubby. Thin it out a little. All right, we're going to let that dry. Not done. I'm going to let it dry. And I just want to, for giggles, for you know what's in giggles, get a little bit of a whisker vibe here. See, yeah, I think we're going to do that later though. But I like that. Just a touch of a white whisker. Nice day for a white whisker. Always find a way to bring in certain songs, don't I? A little sparkle back in that eyeball. Little definition of sparkle over here. And maybe, dare I say, an exaggeration. Getting back some of that sparkle. I almost want, yeah, right there. A little touch, maybe even more. Yeah. All right, this is where I'm going to let him rest. For me, visually, my eyeballs. This is a weird spot. It needs to be filled in. I can see that, and some of these things I can only see because I am taking a step back. For me, I have it easy because I can look up at my third monitor and see what I'm doing, right? So stepping away, stepping back, so important. You're going to see so much is going to be revealed to you by doing that. So much, all right? Okay, this is where I'm going to let my eyes take a break. But I'm happy. I'm happy with this little mush. You know, the mouth isn't quite as droopy. I think I can actually exaggerate that a little more. But, oh my gosh, super duper cute patooter. He's a cute patooter. Trifecta. Just want to see if, yeah, this just isn't long enough. That's quite really the only thing that's happening. So we are gonna wet this. And then we're gonna blot it with a paper towel, which you know I don't do a lot. But I know the error of my ways here. And even though he's cute, and I have a feeling the owner would be happy with that, I'm just going to give myself the opportunity needs to be longer. Then we can do all the same things we did, just down lower. Yeah, see how much room there is here? Mm-hmm. Yep. So, but I am going to walk away right now because I do need that visual rest. But then we're going to just repeat. We're going to reestablish the mouth down here. That's all we're going to do. And this is all dark stuff. This is all shadow in here. And I can even cut in with the blue if I decide, but we're gonna rest there, let this cure, and then I'm gonna go back over, redefine, use some of the bleed proof white. I don't know if I'll do that today, we'll see. But yeah, now I've got the distance here correct compared to the photo. Or it's starting to be correct. Let's take a look at what we did, because we did a lot. I am loving how that dried, BT Dubs, and I hope you do too. This has been a blast. I just want, if you've heard anything today, I want you to hear that we all are experiencing the self-talk, like it was just said and shared. We're all experiencing those moments where we have to talk ourselves through the difficult, through the weird, through the frustrating. And knowing that laying down that first, second, third, 10th, 15th brushstroke, it's still capturable. It's still attainable. Just like I experienced here with Poppy, right? The gold is knowing when to take a break, knowing when to rest, knowing that we can come back. So I hope this was valuable. Thank you for being here. If you're going to attempt some doggos, kitty cats, creatures of any kind, please tag me, Christy the Painter on Insta. DM me there or just tag me. I'll see it. That's the best way to reach me. And until next time, happy painting.